GCSE results tomorrow in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. If you're affected, we don't need to tell you, of course. No doubt you are already braced. One of the things under scrutiny will be the impact of a new grading system in England, with numbers, not letters, used to rank English and maths qualifications. Our education correspondent Gillian Hargreaves explains.
I got B's and A's. That's good. I got A in that. Oh my gosh.
All this A, B and C euphoria is soon to be a thing of the past, at least in England's schools. Because this year, English language, English literature and maths will be the first exams awarded a number instead of an alphabetic grade, from 1 to 9 instead of G to A star. The change isn't happening in Wales or Northern Ireland, except for those candidates who sit a paper devised by an English exam board. Jade, Jodie and Kedma, who all attend the Harris Battersea Academy, have found the new grading system gives them something to aim for.
I think it was harder to get the number grades as it requires quite a lot of hard work, whereas with the alphabetical grades it's quite easy as you're quite used to it from year 7 to year 11.
It's been a challenge, but it's also been good because it gives you more to strive for in like maths and English.
At first I thought it was odd because even I think teachers were getting confused, because I remember one time in English they were like, everyone, we need to try get a 9 or a 2 this year, and we were like, what? You always think 1 is the best, like 1 is the top, so it was a bit hard to understand.
The combination of numbers and letters this year has arisen because examiners have tried to meet the political demand to make GCSEs harder and better able to distinguish the most able candidates, with the need to ensure fairness for those sitting their exams this summer. Jeff Barton from the Head Teachers Union Askell thinks this first tranche of reform has been rushed.
I think what the GCSEs will demonstrate is how a swathe of new ideas hastily pushed through as reforms have very big consequences, and the consequences for teachers are that they have had to start teaching new courses partly post-16, partly at GCSE, whilst other things have been changing in schools as well. And that will lead to a sense of frustration, I think, that there hasn't been sufficient time to really plan for those, and decisions being made about getting rid of coursework, for example, that hadn't really been consulted fully enough upon. And I think there is a sense in which what we're seeing is the Govian chickens coming home to roost.
There's also confusion over which numerical grade will constitute a pass. The Westminster government says grade 4 will equate to a grade C, what ministers call a standard pass. But the new grade 5 is described as a strong pass. Some universities say they'll be happy to accept grade 4s, while others are already demanding grade 5s. Nathaniel McCullagh runs a tutoring company.
The changes in the exam grading system, we've seen an increase in parental anxiety. That's the key thing. So there's just generally a factor of confusion. So when a parent's calling us for tuition, they used to say, my child just needs a C. Now they're saying, what is a C? Does it mean 4? Does it mean 5?
Starting with English and Maths in 2017, there will be changes to GCSE qualifications and to the grading system used in England.
The exams regulator Ofqual, mindful of the confusion change can bring, has published a handy explanatory video on its website.
The new system has more grades and replaces letters with the numbers 9 to 1, with 9 being the highest grade.
The Westminster government has spent £500,000 on a publicity campaign explaining to employers what the changes will mean. But that seems to have bypassed the owner of Hype Coiffure hairdressers. In his busy salon, Calvin Rafferty trains apprentices, but he is now utterly confused about how to identify the best candidates.
Well, I'd heard that there was going to be some changes with some numbers. I didn't realise it was going to be only 2 of the subjects would have changed and the rest are going to remain the same.
The new grades are going to be 1 to 9. What do you reckon is the top and what's the bottom?
Well, obviously it's got to be 1. It couldn't be anything else, could it?
No, it's not 1, it's 9. 9 is the top.
Are you kidding? I didn't realise that.
And also, what do you reckon would be a pass number? Because at the moment it's a grade C for English and Maths.
Well, if it's 9, I would have thought it would have been something like 4.5.
Well,
I'd guess.
Bang on, because the government says a standard pass is 4, a good pass is 5. So when you have a candidate, what are you going to be thinking?
I think I'm going to be slightly confused. But I think over a period of time, obviously, we'll work it out.
And there are more changes to come. From 2020, all GCSEs in England will be awarded the grades 1 to 9, while Wales and Northern Ireland plan to retain the alphabetical grading system.